Welcome to another videocast, which is a part of the cognitive developmental series for the middle childhood, 6 to 12 years. Today we are going to talk about a skill which is a part of memory retention, executive functions, which is also a part of good language development, good language building for your child. And these are the visual perceptual skills. This is an additional video to this series, and let's go ahead with it. This is like a bonus video. So what are the visual skills, or what are the visual perceptual skills basically? So when I show you this, you are able to make some sense of it. Okay, she's making a circle with her hand. Okay, she's wearing a bangle in her hand and she's moving her hand also, and it's near her forehead. So some kind of a sense you're making. So you're visually processing. It's not like that you're able to see me clearly. That's not visual processing. But whatever you're seeing right now is making sense to you. So your visual processing ability, in short, your visual processing ability is just your visual perceptual skill. So these skills are not only important just for your making sense of the world around you. Obviously, we need to make sense of the world around you. So many things are happening in the world. But for reading, writing, for dressing, for eating, basically everyday tasks. So visual perceptual skills are not just for academic things. It's useful in our daily life tasks. That's why we need to need to work on these visual perceptual skills even at our very important. It's a good way of stimulating your brain. And whatever video games you're playing right now, they use a lot of your visual perceptual skills. Apart from the tactile and other sensory senses, they use a lot of visual perceptual skills. That's why you love them. So there are a long list of skills or sub skills which come under visual perceptuals, like sensory integration. If you agree or not, it comes under this as per my experience, and I put them under visual perceptual skills because if I look at something only, I can make out that it looks little rough to me, it feels rough to me, or this is very deep. That's how I try to visualize. So that's the thing. Visual attention. Then we have visual form constancy. We have visual closures. We have visual discrimination, visual memory, visual spatial skills, and visual figure graph. So you can read about all these 6, 7 categories of skills, but I just want to focus on the term visual perception. So these are like different things you work under visual perceptual skills, but I just want to work on talk about the main thing, visual perception. Why I'm saying it's good for your cognitive development for your child. So what happens is if the child does not have or is having average visual perceptual skills, obviously the child will not be good in concepts of on, under, on top, up, down, in front of, behind that. When you give them these kind of instructions or you're working on these skills, they will take time to grasp these. So other could be the child, you have been practicing the child, you have been practicing a lot of dressing skills with the child, buttoning, unbuttoning and everything, but you still find that the child is not doing so well in it. So there could be some concern regarding the visual perceptual skills. Then you can check different skills in those lists. So whether it's a parent or a professional. Then basically if you're making the child write something or you're talking to the child, showing your child something, it happens with us also. We need to filter out the visual distractions. If there is some black spot on a red board and there's something specific on that black dot, you need to filter out the red thing. So you need to filter out the other visual distractions to look on the main thing or the main theme. So the child would have difficulty or concerns around this also. So that's why I'm saying that visual perception is again going to get affected if the attention and concentration is not there. And if you have seen my previous video on communication, for communication we require good attention and concentration. So if good attention and concentration is not there, the talking is going to get affected, the social communication is going to affected. So good visual perceptions are not there, then how are you going to talk? If you're showing something, how the child is going to talk? So that's why visual perception is an important part for social communication, for memory, retention, for executive functions. Almost, it's a good foundation skills. So, what are the games that you can begin with? And these are simpler games that you can do at home. So, like, I should have started the video with this. So, I'm showing you I'm just showing you this map, and I show you three things. Here's a gorilla, here is an elephant, and here is a penguin. So what all did I show you? So this is a visual memory game I was doing with you. You have to do. So that's why I say visual perceptual skills. You can make out the difference between the shape of the animals. You visually saw it. Visual sequential memory is coming. So you have to sequence, you have to visually seek, visually process, and then you have to give me an answer. So it's a part of memory skills also. So when you work on visual perception, you can do this game, because even how it's going to help in language, either the child is going to say I don't know, or the child will say one out of the two. So again, it's building on what the child wants to express. Then another thing is, whatever task you're giving to the child, make him review that. If he has to sort out or color something, ask him to check his task, check his things. Again, he will apply his visual perceptual skills, definitely. And then again, there will be a conversation about it. So again, it's a language stimulation activity also. I talked about the memory game already. That's a visual memory game. Then it's like the hidden pictures. So you can show the pictures, half of one picture can be shown, and then you can ask the child to identify. Okay, then they could be like this, a tactile something, like fetch something from a tactile box. Just make the child feel something, and then you talk about it. Again, it's a language thing, or the child can talk about it. I feel I can crush this. I feel this is very little rough, plus it is soft. So I feel it's like a tissue. So that's identify something by touch. So he's again visually feeling how the object seems to be. So we can do another thing like, okay, I feel this is very hard. It has an opening. What is it? So it's a small bottle kind of a thing. So this is like identify by touch. So he's visually imagining and ideating and giving you an answer. Then sensory activities. So again, this is going to work on visual perception also. Associated with that would be the language also. You can use pipe cleaners, and then you can make some shape, and then you can ask the child to identify the shape. So again, this is a visual perceptual thing. Or you can just trace a shape outline and then ask the child to build out of it. Again, they have to use their visual perceptual skill. So the visual perceptual skills are very important for your language, for your memory, for executive functions, for problem solving, and the list goes on. And one important point that I want you to note here is, if they are left untreated and if you are not properly evaluating it, if you're missing onto the visual perceptual skills, processing skills, the child might have some anxiety for academic performances. The child would have low self-esteem, low confidence on himself or herself. Obviously, there could be poor handwriting skills, poor reading skills, and academic challenges are going to increase. So visual perceptual skills should never be ignored. So they are important. Okay, so visual perceptual skills are very important for your everyday task, and you don't want your child to suffer with the everyday task. If they are not able to perform the everyday task, people will just judge them immediately, and that will affect their confidence, their esteem, their self-esteem, and that can raise up their anxiety. So this is an important skill, and it comes under cognitive development for the middle childhood, and definitely we should not ignore. So please don't ignore your visual perception skills as well as your child's. Thank you for watching this video. See ya.